The era of Sean McDermott in Buffalo is officially over, and for the first time in 9 seasons we are staring into the unknown. The Bills have fired their head coach after nearly a decade of consistency, but ultimately falling short of the big prize. This isn't just a coaching change, this is a franchise-altering moment, because General Manager Brandon Beane has been promoted to President of Football Operations. He is running the show now. The new coach will answer directly to him. So the question isn't just who is the best coach available, it is who fits this new power structure and who can finally get Josh Allen a Super Bowl ring. Before we dive into my top candidates for the most important hire in Buffalo Bills history, do me a huge favor and smash that like button, share this video, and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss a single update as we track this coaching search day by day. We have to start with the most obvious name on the board, a name that every Bills fan has whispered or shouted at their TV screen for the last few years. Brian Daboll. The former Bills offensive coordinator and the man many credit with turning Josh Allen from a raw project into an alien quarterback is available. He was fired by the New York Giants after a tough stint where he went 20-1, but let's be real, he was trying to win with Daniel Jones. He took that roster to the playoffs and won a game, which is a miracle in itself. But things went south in New York. He stuck with Jones too long, the roster crumbled and he was let go. But does that erase what he did in Buffalo? Absolutely not. Reports are already flying that Daboll is a top target for Buffalo. Diana Rossini reported that his name keeps coming up in league circles as a potential replacement. He is a Buffalo native. He loves Josh Allen. Josh Allen loves him. If the goal is to make Josh comfortable and maximize his prime, bringing back the guy who unlocked his potential feels like a slam dunk. However, you have to ask yourself, do reunions ever really work out the way we hope? Or are we just chasing ghosts of the past? If they decide against bringing Daboll back, maybe they look down the hall at the guy currently running the offense. Joe Brady. I know this name might not have you throwing a parade in the streets. We have had our frustrations with the situational play calling this season. But you cannot deny that the offense looked smoother and more efficient once he took over for Ken Dorsey in 2023. Brady is young, he is only 36, and he has that connection with Joe Burrow from the LSU days. More importantly, if Brandon Beane wants to keep things in-house and maintain control, promoting Brady makes a lot of sense. Josh Allen has publicly stated he loves working with Brady. If Beane wants a coach he can mold and control, Brady fits that description perfectly. But is he ready to be the head man? Is he ready to command the entire locker room and not just the quarterback room? That is the gamble. Now let's talk about the guy who is at the very top of my personal wish list. If the Bills want to stop playing it safe and take a massive swing for the fences, they need to hire Clint Kubiak. This guy is the hottest offensive name on the market right now. He is currently the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks and has Sam Darnold playing like a legitimate starter in the NFC Championship. He took that offense and dropped 41 points on the San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs. That is not luck, that is scheme. He comes from a royal football family as the son of Super Bowl winning coach Gary Kubiak. Remember when the Broncos had Peyton Manning and kept falling short? They fired John Fox, brought in Gary Kubiak, and won the Super Bowl. Could history repeat itself with his son and Josh Allen? Clint is 38 years old, he has worked in the Shanahan system and he has called plays for 2 different teams now. He feels ready. The only problem is the Bills cannot interview him until the Seahawks are out of the playoffs. Are they willing to wait? Because if they are, Clint Kubiak could be the coach for the next decade. Another fascinating name tied up in the playoffs is Davis Webb. Yes, that Davis Webb. The former Bills backup quarterback who is best friends with Josh Allen. He is currently the pass game coordinator and quarterbacks coach for the Denver Broncos, who just beat the Bills. Webb is incredibly young, only a year older than Josh, but he is viewed as a rising star in the coaching world. Peter Schrager has mentioned that Webb considers Buffalo his favorite place he has ever played. If the Bills want to go fully all in on making Josh happy, hiring his best friend as the head coach or offensive coordinator is certainly a way to do it. Imagine a setup where they bring in a veteran CEO-type head coach, maybe even Dable, and pair him with Webb as the OC. It would be an Allen-centric universe. But again, you have to wait until the Broncos season is over to even talk to him. This brings me to a massive question I need to ask you right now. Do you agree with the firing of Sean McDermott? Was it time to move on, or did he deserve one more year? Type yes if you think it was time, or no if you think it was a mistake. I want to see where the fanbase stands on this, because it is the most polarizing decision in years. While you are typing that, let me throw a curveball at you. Mike McCarthy. I know I can hear the groans through the screen. But hear me out. If the Bills want a Super Bowl winning head coach who is actually available, McCarthy is on the list. His resume is nearly identical to John Harbaugh's. He has won a ton of games, he has a ring, and he has worked with Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and Dak Prescott. He knows how to handle elite quarterback personalities. I know he gets a bad rap for clock management and playoff exits in Dallas, but the guy wins everywhere he goes. Is it the sexiest hire? No. But is it a safe floor? Probably. Then there are the defensive minds. Chris Shula, the defensive coordinator for the Rams, is a hot name right now. He just shut down the Bears on Sunday night and is being looked at for the Steelers' job too. But do the Bills really want to hire another defensive coordinator with no head coaching experience? That feels like we are just hitting repeat on the Sean McDermott experiment. The league is trending toward offense. You have Josh Allen in his prime. Hiring a defensive coach feels like you are fighting the current. Speaking of offensive minds, Mike McDaniel is available. The former Dolphins coach was let go after a tough stretch, but let's be fair, he was working with Tua Tagovailoa, who was injured constantly. McDaniel made the playoffs twice with a flawed roster. He is an offensive genius. But there are questions about whether he can command a locker room as a head coach, especially when things get tough. Can he be the CEO type that Buffalo needs? I am not sold, but in terms of pure offensive scheming, he is top 3 on the market. And then there is the wild card. Nate Schilhasa from the Rams. He is being called the next Sean McVay, the wonder kid of this cycle. He is only 35 years old and has no head coaching experience, but he is McVay's right-hand man. It would be a massive risk. But look at what McVay did. Look at what Kyle Shanahan did. Sometimes you have to bet on youth and innovation. If the Bills want to be ahead of the curve instead of chasing it, Schilhasa is the guy. We also have to mention Mike Tomlin. He is still under contract with the Steelers, but there are rumors. You would have to trade draft picks to get him. For a team with roster holes like Buffalo, giving up premium picks for a coach seems like a bad move. Plus, would Tomlin really want to answer to Brandon Beane? I doubt it. That feels like a power struggle waiting to happen. There are other names floating around like Mike LaFleur or Jesse Minter, but frankly they feel like long shots. The focus has to be on someone who can unlock the offense, or someone who has been there and done that. So where does that leave us? We have the reunion with Dable, the internal promotion with Brady, the rising star in Kubiak, or the veteran in McCarthy. It is a terrifying and exciting time to be a Bills fan. The decision Brandon Beane makes in the next few weeks will define the rest of Josh Allen's career. If they get this wrong, the window might slam shut. If they get it right, we could be planning a parade. What do you guys think? Who is your top choice? Do you want the familiar face in Dable or the fresh blood in Kubiak? Let me know in the comments below, because I read every single one. This search is just getting started, and we are going to be here for every twist and turn. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss a beat. Let's go Buffalo.